Picture this. It's early, the little silver pot is hissing on the stove, and out of it comes a coffee so dark and rich it holds a golden cream on top, the kind you'd pay $4 for in a cafe. But most people own that exact same pot and make bitter, thin, metallic sludge with it, and never once know why. Today we're counting down 31 Moka pot tricks an Italian nonna swore by for perfect coffee, and number 1 is the cafe cream she whipped up by hand with nothing but a spoon. Stay for it. Let's get into it. Number 31. Start with hot water, not cold. This is the one that fixes bitter coffee more than any other, and almost nobody does it. If you fill the base with cold water, the whole pot sits over the flame for ages while it heats up, and all that time the coffee grounds are slowly stewing and scorching, which is exactly where that harsh, bitter, burnt taste comes from. A nonna filled the base with water she'd already boiled in the kettle, so the coffee brewed fast, before the heat could ruin it. Hot water in, and the coffee comes out smooth instead of bitter. Careful with the hot base, use a cloth. And the next one is the mistake people bring over from espresso. Number 30. Never tamp the coffee down. People who've seen a barista press the coffee into an espresso machine do the same to their mocha basket, packing it down hard. Don't. A mocha pot works on gentle pressure, and if you tamp the grounds tight, the water can't pass through properly. It forces its way through unevenly, over-extracts, and turns bitter, and at worst it clogs and builds up dangerous pressure. A nonna simply spooned the coffee into the basket and leveled it off with a finger, loose and even, never pressed. Fill it, level it, leave it. If bringing back the old Italian ways sounds good to you, subscribe. We're bringing back the tricks Nonna never wrote down. And the next one is about the water line. Number 29. Fill the water only to just below the safety valve. That little valve on the side of the base isn't decoration. It's a pressure release safety valve, and the water should always sit just below it, never above. Fill past it and you block it, which is genuinely unsafe, and you also throw off the coffee-to-water balance. A nonna filled to just under that valve, every time, no measuring needed. Below the valve, always. And the next one is the grind that makes or breaks it. Number 28. Get the grind right, not too fine. This is where a lot of bitter coffee comes from. Espresso fine grind is too fine for a mocha pot. It clogs the filter, chokes the flow, and over-extracts into something harsh. Drip coffee grind is too coarse and gives you weak, watery coffee. A nonna wanted something in between, a bit finer than table salt. If you're buying it ground, ask for mocha grind. If you grind your own, aim for the middle. The right grind is half the cup, and the next one is the flame. Number 27. Keep the heat low to medium, never a roaring flame. People crank the gas to full to hurry it along, and all that does is scorch the coffee and make the pot spit violently. A mocha pot wants a gentle, moderate heat, with the flame no wider than the base of the pot, so it isn't licking up the sides and burning the handle. A nonna kept it low and patient. It only takes a few minutes, and low heat is smooth coffee. High heat is burnt coffee. And the next one is the exact moment everything depends on. Number 26. Take it off the heat the instant it starts to gurgle. Here's the moment that separates good coffee from ruined coffee. As the pot brews, the coffee streams up dark and steady, and then, near the end, the stream turns pale, blonde and sputtering, and it starts to gurgle. That pale, gurgling stuff at the end is the bitter, over-extracted part. A nonna pulled the pot off the heat the very second she heard that gurgle begin, before it could pour that bitterness into the good coffee. Listen for the gurgle, and move, and the next one stops it dead. Number 25. Cool the base to stop the extraction instantly, even off the heat. A hot mocha pot keeps brewing for a moment, dragging out more of that bitter end. Nonna stopped it in its tracks. The second she took it off the flame, she ran the base under a cold tap for a couple of seconds, or stood it on a cold, wet cloth. That instantly drops the temperature and halts the extraction right where she wanted it, locking in only the good coffee. A splash of cold water, and it's caught at its best. And the next one is what you do while it brews. Number 24. Leave the lid open and watch it. Most people close the lid and walk away, and by the time they come back it's already gurgled and gone bitter. Nonna brewed with the lid up, watching the stream the whole time so she could catch that exact moment the color turned pale and pull it off. You can't catch the right moment if you can't see it. Lid open, eyes on the pot. And the next one is about filling the basket. Number 23. Fill the basket level and full, but never heap it. The coffee basket should be filled right up and leveled off flat, not packed down as we said, but not left half empty either, and never mounded up into a heap so high it stops the top from screwing on and sealing. A loose, level, full basket lets the water pass evenly through all of it. Nonna filled it to the brim and swept it flat with her finger. Full and level, that's the sweet spot. And the next one is the cleaning mistake that ruins the flavor. Number 22. Never wash your mocha pot with soap. This is the one every coffee lover swears by, and it's counterintuitive. Over time, coffee oils build up a thin seasoning on the inside of the pot that actually makes every future cup taste rounder and better. And washing it with soap and a scrubber strips all of that away and can leave a soapy taste behind. Nonna just rinsed hers out with hot water and let it dry, nothing more. Do all this and you get exactly that rich, dark, smooth coffee you saw at the start of this video, instead of bitter sludge. That's the whole payoff right there. Hot water only, no soap. And the next one is about drying it. Number 21. Dry it completely and store it apart. Put a damp aluminum mocha pot away screwed shut, and it develops that stale, musty, slightly metallic smell, and the aluminum can start to oxidize and taste off. Nonna dried every part after rinsing and stored the pot unscrewed, with the top sitting loose on the base so air could move through it and it stayed fresh and dry between coffees. Dry, and let it breathe. And the next one is the cheap part that quietly ruins your coffee. Number 20. Replace the rubber gasket before it goes hard. Inside the pot, where the top screws onto the base, there's a rubber seal, and it's the most overlooked part of the whole thing. Over months it dries out, hardens and cracks, and once it does, the pot can't hold pressure properly, so the coffee comes out weak, slow, or leaking from the sides. Nonna replaced that little rubber ring every so often and checked the metal filter plate with it. They cost almost nothing, and Nonna knew every small bit of care that made a thing last a lifetime. The pot, the pans, the whole kitchen, so I gathered all of it into Nonna's handbook, the wisdom she kept in her hands and never wrote down. The link is in the description below. Now, number 19, and it keeps the pot safe. Number 19, keep the safety valve clean and clear. That pressure valve does a serious job, and it needs to be able to move. If coffee grounds or scale block it, pressure can build up with nowhere to go, which is genuinely dangerous. Nonna gave it a quick check and a rinse regularly to make sure the little pin inside moved freely. A clean valve is a safe pot. And the next one is the water you brew with. Number 18. Use good, soft water. Coffee is almost all water, so hard, heavily mineraled tap water makes a duller cup and leaves scale building up inside the pot. Nonna in a hard water area used filtered or softened water, and it made a real difference to both the taste and the life of the pot. Good water in, good coffee out. And the next one is about the coffee itself. Number 17. Use fresh coffee and grind it just before. Ground coffee goes stale and flat fast once it's exposed to air. The flavor and aroma fade within a couple of weeks of opening. A Nonna bought good coffee and, where she could, ground it fresh just before brewing, because that's when all the flavor is still locked in. Fresh grounds are the difference between a coffee that smells alive and one that tastes of cardboard, and whole beans keep their flavor far longer than pre-ground, so if you can, buy the beans and grind only what you need for that one pot, right before it goes on the flame. And the next one fixes weak coffee the right way. Number 16. Make weak coffee stronger with the grind, not the clock. When their coffee comes out weak, people leave the pot on the heat longer to strengthen it, which just burns it bitter. That's backwards. A Nonna made a stronger cup by grinding a touch finer or using a little more coffee in the basket, never by cooking it longer. Strength comes from the grounds, not from more time over the flame. And the next one is the pot size mistake. Number 15. Match the pot size to how much you're actually making. A Moka pot is designed to be filled, a 3-cup pot brewing 3 cups. Try to make just 1 small cup in a big 6-cup pot and you'll get weak, uneven, disappointing coffee because the balance is all wrong. A Nonna had a small pot for 1 or 2 and a bigger one for the family and used whichever matched the moment. Right-sized pot, right coffee, and the next one evens out the cup. Number 14. Stir the top chamber before you pour. The first coffee to come up is stronger, and the last is weaker, so if you pour straight out, the cups aren't even. A Nonna gave the finished coffee a quick stir in the top chamber with a spoon before pouring, so every cup got the same balanced strength. One little stir, even cups all round. And the next one is for a brand new pot. Number 13. Season a brand new pot before you trust it. A new aluminum Moka pot has a raw metallic taste to it at first. A Nonna didn't serve coffee from a new pot straight away. She brewed 2 or 3 throwaway pots of cheap coffee first and tipped them out to burn off that metallic edge and start building up the seasoning. Break it in and the good coffee starts from cup 1. And the next one is about the fire. Number 12. Don't put a cold pot straight onto a high flame. Slamming a cold metal pot onto a roaring burner scorches the base, cooks the handle, and stresses the metal. A Nonna set it on a gentle flame from the start and let it come up steadily. Easy heat, long life. Subscribe and brew the old way, along with us. And the next one is the descaling rule you must get right. Number 11. Descale it gently, and never with vinegar if it's aluminum. Over time, scale builds up inside, especially with hard water. But here's the important part. Aluminum, which most classic Moka pots are made of, is damaged by vinegar and acids. They pit and dull the metal. So for an aluminum pot, a Nonna simply kept it clean and dry and didn't soak it in anything acidic. For a stainless steel one, a gentle descaler made for coffee makers is fine. Right pot, right cleaning. And the next one is about the cup you pour into. Number 10. Warm the cup before you pour. You just brewed a perfect little pot of hot coffee, and then you pour it into a cold ceramic cup straight from the cupboard, and the cold cup instantly drinks up half the heat. So by the time it reaches your lips, it's gone lukewarm and the aroma has faded. A Nonna warmed the cups first, just by rinsing them with a little hot water, or standing them on top of the pot while it brewed. A warm cup keeps the coffee hot and its smell alive right to the last sip. Warm the cup and the coffee arrives the way you made it. And the next one is about how tight you screw it together. Number 9. Screw the 2 halves together hand tight and no tighter. People crank the top onto the base as hard as they possibly can, thinking a tighter pot means a better seal. But over-tightening slowly warps the threads and the gasket, and it makes a hot pot almost impossible to open safely afterward. Nonna screwed it firmly together by hand and stopped right there. The rubber gasket is what makes the seal, not brute force. Hand tight is tight enough, and the next one is the seal nobody ever thinks to check. Number 8. Wipe the rim and the threads clean before you close it. When you spoon coffee into the basket, a few loose grounds always end up scattered on the rim and in the screw threads, and if you close the pot right over them, they stop the two halves sealing properly, so the pot leaks, spits, and loses its pressure. Nonna gave the rim and the threads a quick wipe with a cloth before screwing it shut, every single time, so it sealed clean and tight. 2 seconds, and no leaks. And the next one is the last of the pot itself. Number 7. And the final one for the pot. Swirl it and serve it straight away. Once you've pulled it off the heat and stirred it, don't let the coffee sit in the hot metal pot, where it keeps taking on a stewed, tinny taste. Nonna poured it out into the cups right away, or into a warm jug, and served it fresh. Coffee made this well doesn't wait. And that's the pot itself completely mastered. Every rule that turns it from a maker of bitter sludge into a maker of proper coffee. But Nonna's coffee never ended at the pot. The last few tricks are what she did with the coffee once it was brewed, and they're the ones that turn a cup of coffee into something you'd proudly serve a guest. So, number 6. Number 6. Store your coffee airtight, cool, and dark. All that care with the pot is wasted if the coffee itself has gone stale. Nonna kept her ground coffee in an airtight tin or jar, away from light, heat, and air, not open on the counter, and not in the fridge or freezer for everyday coffee, where damp and condensation get in and dull it. Sealed, cool, and dark, the coffee stays fresh and fragrant for weeks. And buy it in smaller amounts you'll actually get through, rather than a giant tin that's gone stale at the bottom, fresh, and often beats big and cheap when it comes to coffee. And the next one turns hot coffee into a summer treat. Number 5. Make a cafe shakerato for iced coffee. On a hot day, Nonna didn't just pour her Moka coffee over ice and watch it go weak and watery. She made a shakerato. She put the fresh, hot Moka coffee, a little sugar, and a handful of ice into a sealed jar or shaker and shook it hard for 15 seconds, then strained it into a glass. It comes out cold, strong, and topped with a beautiful natural foam, a cafe drink from one little pot. She'd do the same with any coffee left over from the morning, chilled first, then shaken, so nothing went to waste and the drink stayed strong instead of melting down into brown water. Shaken, not drowned. And the next one gives you a cappuccino with no machine. Number 4. Froth your milk without a machine. You don't need an espresso machine to top your coffee with foam. Nonna warmed a little milk, poured it into a jar with a lid, and shook it hard for 30 seconds until it doubled in froth, then spooned it over the coffee, an instant cappuccino. Or she whisked the warm milk fast with a fork or a little hand whisk. Pour the frothed milk in slowly, holding the foam back with a spoon, then spoon the foam on top, and you've got a cappuccino that costs a few cents and looks like the cafe made it. Real foam, no machine, no cost, and the next one wastes not a drop. Number 3. Never pour leftover coffee down the drain. If there's coffee left in the pot, Nonna didn't waste it. She poured it into an ice cube tray and froze it, and those coffee cubes went into iced coffee later, chilling it without watering it down, or into a tiramisu, or a sauce. Nothing was ever wasted, not even the last of the coffee. And the next one is the old way to take the edge off. Number 2. Soften a strong coffee the Italian way. If a coffee comes out sharper or stronger than someone likes, a nonna had gentle old fixes rather than drowning it. A tiny pinch of salt in the grounds can quietly round off any bitterness. A small strip of lemon peel served on the side brightens it, and a spoon of good cocoa or a little warm milk turns it into something softer for anyone who finds it too strong. And now number 1, the one that looks like it came from a cafe. Number 1. Whip a crema al café by hand. This is the one that stops people because it looks impossible without a machine. That thick, pale, mousse-like coffee cream you see on top of fancy iced coffees. A nonna made it by hand, with a spoon. She took a few spoonfuls of the very first strongest coffee out of a fresh Moka pot, added an equal amount of sugar, and beat the two together, hard and steady, for several minutes. And slowly, like magic, the dark liquid turns pale, thick and fluffy, until it stands up in soft peaks, and a spoon left in it holds upright. Then she'd dollop that whipped cream on top of a fresh coffee, or over ice. No machine, no gadget, just strong coffee, sugar, and a bit of arm work, and you get a cafe window crema from a $2 pot. It's the closest thing to magic a coffee cup holds, and it's the perfect note to end on. So there they are, 31 tricks that turn a cheap little silver pot into the best cup of coffee in the house. When you lay them all out, the lesson underneath is the one a nonna lived by. Good coffee was never about an expensive machine. It was about knowing the pot, respecting the details, and never letting it burn. That same little Moka sat on her stove every single morning for 50 years, seasoned and cared for like an old friend, exactly the way she kept her cast iron pan, and everything about that pan, how to season it, rescue it, and keep it for a lifetime, is in the video on your screen right now. Go and watch that one next. Subscribe, and let's keep bringing back the tricks the world was starting to forget.